Barcast, the podcast, always moving, always changing, always new information for you. I'm Salt.
And I'm George.
Still same old George, unfortunately. But it is the Barcast, the podcast for 2023, the new location here.
Yes. What are we calling it? We're calling it the Den.
For now. Yeah.
It's comfortable. It's cozy. We like it.
We like it a lot, man. It's a nice spot, man. And we're talking about Bar 2023 because bar season is upon us. Almost into July 1st block, pretty much done.
Correct. And we're officially launching the Bar 2023 season in a week or so at our new sponsor's home. This is breaking news.
Yeah, I don't even know.
We have a new sponsor for the corporate challenge, and that's the Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union.
Nice.
Limited. So we'll be there with a big media launch. So if you're interested in attending that media launch to get all the upcoming information on the Barbados Adventure Race for 2023, give us a shout, get in touch through the page, and you can come and get all the updates for 2023 that we miss on this podcast.
So that is going to be launching on the Belmont Road headquarters?
Correct, yes.
Nice. When is that launch? Well, you don't make a difference because I can see this after probably.
Right. So we're looking at the 17th of July.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we've pushed it back to allow for this podcast to come out and to give some of our sponsors some time to get their media people together so we can have all our major partners there and maybe a couple sponsors who aren't on board now hear this podcast and say, well, George, we'd like to jump on board. Get in touch with us before the 17th of July, and you can be a part of that launch as well.
The BPWCCUL, Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union Limited, on board.
Yeah, we're going to do something about that brand, because that's real name.
I know I need to talk, though, yeah.
But we're eternally grateful for them. Obviously, we had a Republic Bank for the last few years, and that was a really good partnership for us. We really enjoyed that partnership. It was very beneficial to both parties. And now we're moving on with Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union Limited. And this should be a great partnership as well, moving into the future with a new partner for the corporate challenge.
So that's a corporate challenge. So what's the bar weekend going to look like for 2023?
Well, there's a whole bunch of changes.
Oh,
there's a whole bunch of changes.
It's going to be a long podcast.
So yeah, well, we're going to go step by step.
Okay.
So the Saturday morning looks different than it used to look before. On Saturday morning, we almost used to use that as a little test run for the volunteers and other officials with the Open Wave event.
Yeah.
And that was a team Open Wave event. If you weren't part of a company or corporation and you wanted to bring out your friends and family and do the team event, that was the event for you. But we've decided that we want to grow the bar tribe. And we know there are people out there who might be a little intimidated with the obstacles. And so we've decided to put on that morning, it's got a title sponsor already. That's going to be the PEDIALYTE Obstacle-Free Fun Run.
Obstacle-free fun
run. No obstacles. Run the same course as the athletes. And if you feel like jumping on an obstacle, that's up to you. They're on me out already. But this is pure fun run for families, kids, adults, anybody who wants to come and be a part of the bar tribe.
Yeah.
Come and run the 5K course. No obstacles. You have to worry about not being able to do the skills or can't climb over that wall. You can just run the course. And yes. And this is a pure fun run. This is a pure fun run. And what I mean by that is, don't say, well, I was going to do the individual event in the evening, but this fun run got bigger prizes. No, the prizes are going to be completely random draw.
Okay.
Complete random draw. So you could come first and win a day pass to Surfside, and you could come second last and win a weekend for two in the Den with your own podcast.
Yeah.
It really depends on how many prizes we get from all our different sponsors.
I do that all around.
Completely random draw. Because this is really about coming out and expressing your fitness, being a part of the event, and just trying out and seeing how the bar family feels to you. So maybe next year or the next year you decide you actually want to try some obstacles as well.
Every year at bar, we see the people on social media saying, man, next year is my year, next year is my year. So those are the people we actually urging. If you don't get to the point that you want to be for 2023, you can still come out and feel the course. What that, for me, in my mind would do too, is allow people to experience the course so then they would know, well, here, when the actual race is running, this is where I want to be because I want to see how the actual bar athletes deal with this obstacle, etc.
Yes, and what it's going to do for the bar athletes who are going to be doing the World Obstacle Caribbean Cup.
The World Assembled our brand,
in the afternoon, all these names sound freaky. World Obstacle Caribbean Cup in the afternoon is that it creates a captive audience for them.
Right.
So, we fun runs, we have a lot of them on the weekend. They generally generate 200 to 300 people.
Yeah.
And with PEDIALYTE on board and the normal kind of bar media train, we expect to get 200 to 250 people
on the line for the fun run, yeah.
And so those persons can then stay around. And like you said, they would have just run the course and they were like, I want to go by the silos because the 10-foot wall over there. Or I want to go near the restaurant because I like that obstacle over there.
Yeah.
I support the athletes who are competing to see if they can represent Barbados at Obstacle Course World Championships. World Obstacle is now part of the Olympic family, as we know. So now Obstacle Course is part of the Olympic Games through the modern pentathlon.
Yeah.
And they have a big championships themselves in September. And then OCR World Championships in October, and Spartan World Championships in November. So there's a lot for the athletes to compete for, to go and represent Barbados and obviously express their fitness against some of the best in the world.
Yeah.
And you can go and watch these athletes and cheer them on the course after doing your run on the Saturday morning.
So the free fun run, free running, I don't know if it's free. I don't know.
Definitely not free.
Yeah, okay. The fun run. Is there age limit, or because of the fact that you don't have to do the obstacles, then you can run with your family and everything?
And we're encouraging families. We want to see anybody who can walk be on the course. So even if you want to bring along your toddlers and push them in a pram, bring them along. We literally want everybody from the smallest to the biggest to come and be a part of this event and help us fill up Peg on a Saturday morning and become part of the bar tribe.
Yeah, so you get to do that. They said the prizes are going to be random, but it's sounding sweet already.
Right.
I mean, a night pass for two for the day. Sounds good.
Look at this place. I feel cozy and nice to spend a lot of time down here.
So you got the World Obstacle Caribbean Cup?
Yes. So,
Walk.
Yeah, well, again, branding is a thing. We definitely need to get these people in touch with Future.
Yeah.
Well, he could probably guide them as to how to name some of these things. So, for whatever reason, well, I know what the reason is. During the COVID years, we were resolute in making sure that our event happened.
Yeah.
And so FISO, the Federation of Obstacle Sports, and World Obstacle really looked towards BAR as their premier event in the Caribbean.
Right.
And so we have gotten the title of the World Obstacle Caribbean Cup, and we're encouraging all our Caribbean partners to come down to Barbados and take part in the event with a view towards qualifying for all these major championships around the world, or just saying, well, you know what, we don't have an obstacle course race in St. Lucia. We'd like to try it and see if we could grow our own federation in Grenada, in Tobago, or wherever. Come to Barbados, take part in the event. We can even provide some online coaching for your coaches who can then develop your own local athletes. Try it out, have some fun with it, whether you're a CrossFit athlete, whether you're a runner, whether you're like trail running. Come down to Barbados and be a part of the event. Maybe you just got that athletic prowess and you end up on the podium.
We've seen that happen in the bar.
Seen it happen, exactly. And then off to OCR World Championships you go.
Simple so. I was actually going to ask you this now about that in terms of not having an actual obstacle course racing fraternity in your country, and how easily skills like CrossFit and running would translate for those athletes.
Well, I think that your running has to be the base.
For sure, every time.
So if you are a decent runner, or you can get out and trail and you have a good running coach, focus on the running first, especially if you don't necessarily have access to the skills. I would say develop your upper body strength, develop your grip strength, and develop your overall functional fitness. So not with a perfectly precisioned barbell every time. Get some sandbags, get some Atlas stones, get some buckets, get whatever you have access to, and just start training with them for as long as you can. Get on YouTube, get on Instagram, look and see how many videos there are out there on some of the skills. We know there's a story from a few years back about an African athlete who taught himself how to throw the javelin through YouTube.
Yeah.
And the man went on to win the world championship. So it's possible.
It is possible, yeah.
These are anomalies, but it is possible through all these different forms of media nowadays. You don't gotta go and buy a textbook and sit down and read it. You can access all these things online through video, through podcasts, whatever, and come and give it a try, man. It's above all things, it's a load of fun.
Yeah,
it's like an adult playground. So just come and have some fun.
So that's the Saturday morning, the fun run. The Saturday evening is the World Obstacle Caribbean Cup.
Correct.
Keep saying it all the time. You got to say it 3 times before I can remember. Yeah. So that's all that's on Saturday?
That's all that's on Saturday, yes.
Yeah, okay. And then we're going to so it's a bar weekend, guys. Don't forget. So it's Sunday now. What's happening on Sunday?
Well, we got to tell them the date as well. It's November 25th and 26th.
I didn't want to tell one of the wrong dates.
I think that there was another date out there initially, because the idea was to try and condense the 2 events. So we wanted to have a situation where individuals could come to Barbados, do bar on one weekend, and stay here and do Run Barbados on the following weekend. So you could, book a flight, come and spend 10 days and express your fitness over 2 events. But that first weekend in December is just too challenging from an events perspective, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Last year we saw that they had to see Artistry Weekend.
Artistry came back. Imagine Weekend as well.
Exactly. So when we were the only thing on the calendar with COVID, we could command that weekend.
Only competition we had was the rain. Yeah.
But now that all these other events are coming back, I think that we kind of have to move and give up our place to the things that are going to take those mass numbers. And there's no point competing with established events.
Yeah.
So we've moved away from that first weekend in December, and we've gone to November 25th and 26th.
Gone back to November.
Yeah, gone back into November. Just 1 week's difference. And we're going to have our big event on that weekend.
And I like the move to earlier date as opposed to pushing it to the week after on Barbados because they're getting closer to Christmas.
Getting closer to Christmas for those of our Caribbean partners who are coming up. Hotel rates are going up. Flights are getting more expensive. So
And days are getting shorter.
And the days are getting shorter. That November period is what we call the shoulder period, or just before the shoulder period. So
Yeah.
tend to be able to get deals on flights, tend to be able to get deals on hotels. So I think that's better for everybody.
Those dates once again.
November 25th and 26th.
25th and 26th. Put it in your brain. Put it in your brain, guys. All right. So on the 26th, then what are we going to be doing?
So the Sunday morning, in the past, we always had the corporate challenge.
Yeah.
And that's where we have our new title sponsor, the Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union Limited Corporate Challenge.
Yes.
And we're going to combine that with the Open Wave event.
It's a combination of the two.
Right, but you're going to run them separate ways.
Oh, okay.
All the activities going to happen in the morning half. So if you want to run bar for fun, you're like, I love the obstacles, but I ain't really been training for 6 months or even 6 weeks, but I just want to go out there and play on the obstacles. I want to do it with my friends. I'm not part of a company. You can either form as a team or you can run it as an individual. And that's the Open Wave event on this Sunday morning. But if you want to be part of the fitness company in Barbados,
boy.
you need 2 male and 2 female, and we're going to run you guys in the corporate challenge right after 5K. Same number of obstacles as the Elite Wave, which happens a little later on.
Yeah.
But yeah, come out. Republic Bank used to sponsor this event before.
Yeah.
Now it's the
Barbados
Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union. But we still hope to see, some Republic people.
I hope to see one or two.
We always saw First Caribbean come and take part. We saw a lot of financial institutions use it as a means of team building and morale building within their institutions. But any company at all, we've seen insurance companies, we've seen, offshore companies,
Lawyers.
and this is where I keep saying this is where we see the major growth in bar.
Yeah.
Because people really see that as something that they could use to bring their companies together outside of the office in a different way.
Yeah, like, part of it that is almost like I see the difference too, like in the corporate wave now where they got the people that are just taking it real seriously. One that could really just shut up and join, release, and do it, and do it with the rest. And then they got the people that are still doing it for fun.
Yes.
And I really love that about the corporate.
Yeah, and it really, you see the whole spectrum of the day.
Yeah.
You see people smiling and laughing and, stopping and taking selfies and pictures. And you see people with their face bent. Like
Just trying to get through it. Next year, bring people that can do this thing with me, man.
Yeah. We just don't want anybody to fall out, right? Just remember that you're going to go back to your office on Monday.
Exactly.
So, enjoy the event for what it is. We're still there to have fun. We're still there to, try and support each other. So, yeah.
So that's in the morning.
That's in the morning.
And then
we have a little
more changes, guys. I know about this one, I think.
Yeah, you have a little break. And then this is the event that made bar what it was.
Yeah.
This is the team competitive, the elite team challenge. We started as a team event, and we added the individual event later on. We added the corporate challenge later on. But this is the event that is really the marquee event on that bar weekend.
Yeah.
The major change, there's 2 major changes.
Oh, okay.
One is that it's no longer a 10K event. We brought it down to just over 5K.
Okay.
And the part of the reason for that is that what we found was that even though going down Horse Hill and through the forest was spectacular,
Tell me about it.
most people didn't get to see it. Because most people came to Peg and they found their favorite spot on Peg that they like to watch the event from. And they ain't running down Horse Hill and trying to run.
And I would say most is a good word to use. The vast majority would not see it. They only really people who were getting a pickup. I follow the first 2 teams who go down, but I have never
Motivated people.
I've never seen anyone but volunteers in the forest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if it were a made for TV event,
Yeah.
then it makes more sense because you want to showcase Jones River Forest. You want to showcase the struggle of the athletes coming back up Horse Hill. But since it's turning more and more into a spectator event, we decided to keep it more like that because it'd be like 40 minutes after the race would start. The athletes would run off Peg and people would be standing around Peg waiting for them to come back. And we've always, one of the reasons we stuck with that format was because we were trying to find a title sponsor for the mini bar event, which is our kids event.
You want to do that in between?
So that would have fit right into that space, a little 30-minute kids event while the others are off Peg, going through the forest and down Horse Hill. but we were never able to really secure, hint, everybody watching, we were never really able to secure a title sponsor for the mini bar event.
Yeah.
So once again, if you're trying to get to us before July 17th, and you think you have a brand out there that works well with the kids,
For children, yeah.
reach out to us. Let's get this on the calendar for this year. So that's the first major change. We've cut it down to 5K to make it more spectator friendly.
Got to include the Cotton Tower?
Yes, definitely.
It should still include, yeah.
Cotton Tower. That gives us the 5K.
Yeah, okay.
And that's the only bit off peg. You see them go off peg and you see them come right back on the peg and start. So it makes it more competitive right away because it's more dense as far as the obstacles are concerned.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing that we've done to increase participation is that we've made the teams in a competitive event teams of 3. So it used to be teams of 4 before. You had to have 2 male and 2 female. And the struggle was always finding 2 females who could handle the obstacles.
Mm-hmm.
We've made it 1 female per team, man.
At least 1 female.
At least 1 female.
Right.
So if you're a team of 3 females, that's fine. But now you don't have, once you have 1 female who's competent on the obstacles and wants to be there, I think that this should at least add a 75% improvement in our numbers, if not double.
Yeah.
You know, because that's always the challenge. The challenge is I get people calling me in that week, 2 weeks leading up. George, I need another woman. You need another woman.
The drafting is be serious.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, I will encourage, I know there are women out there. I know there's a team out there that are trying to put together a team of 3 women.
Love it for them.
I don't love it for them. I take off 1 women and give somebody else that woman.
Right.
I know they think they can win and they probably could be very competitive. But, you know, I think one of the things that Bar started out being is we always wanted to be inclusive.
Right.
We want to make sure that we have under 20s, we got over 65. So that's why we reward people in age groups, because we want to encourage participation across the board.
Right.
We want to make sure that we have females entered. We want to have older individuals entered. We want to have the youth entered. You know, we're a green event, so we want to be fully, so that if you have a brand, you feel comfortable associating your brand with Bar because you know that we're doing things that are wholesome, things that are encouraging, and things that are inclusive. So, you know, spread around in love. Take 1 and women off that team, put it on another team, and let's get more and more teams in this event because we really want to.
Because imagine that the reason you've changed the rule is because of the fact that it was so hard for teams to find a second woman. No, y'all over there with 3.
Exactly. If 2 or 3 teams do that 3 women, we're back to square one.
Back to square one. So I just always say that, yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen, but, you know, just as an extreme example.
Yeah. Okay, so morning time, you're going to have the corporate and the open wave. The evening time is the elite. 5K only, or maybe around 5K, only 3 people per team. 1 has to be a woman.
1 has to be a woman. And obviously now, you know, we'll tweak the rules accordingly.
Yeah. Man, I love some social media. It matter with the reels.
Yeah, I still can't get the engagement on my own personal page. I know I got shadow banned, but I'm going to find somebody from Instagram. We can talk.
You got shadow banned for true?
No.
If he does not get any engagement.
Listen, I ain't even talk about it. I got 4 pages on social media. 2 of them I hardly put anything on, and it's still bigger than my personal. But, you know, that's how things are. But, yeah, so we're going to tweak the rules. But I think it becomes a more competitive event because we still got a 10-foot wall in, but instead of 4, you got 3. You know,
but no, even though the distance is shorter, it's the same amount of work in terms of obstacles spread out among a smaller amount of people because only 3 people instead.
Right.
So every one time you would say, okay, let's say for instance, we're going to let this person carry the pipe for the whole time.
Right.
And this body can get arrested. And arrested this night.
Right.
It's like every 3 also when I go rotate on this. So it's saying I play even for the walls as you just mentioned because they go over the 10-foot wall with 3 people. So a little different to 4 people.
But I don't really want to give it too much strategy now because, you know, everywhere you start planning. If you want to come and find out how to do these things, obviously you have training that's already started. We got the first block in June already pretty much done. We've done something different this year as well, where we're starting a pure beginners block as well. And that one is going to be, one day is going to be pure skills, no running. So, you know, that's usually a problem, right?
Yeah.
You come back to the monkey bars and you're tired.
Yeah, so you get that.
You're tired. No, this is no running about on this day. It's just pure practicing the skills to get you competent on them because obstacle course races are just more fun when you're not doing burpees.
Yeah, everything in life, I think.
It's more fun without
fun, right?
So, master the skills.
I sure that some person in jail right now said jail is more fun, but you're not doing burpees.
It's possible. It's not probable, but it's possible. Yeah. So we want to really want to hold people's hands through this process.
Yeah.
Because we want to grow this community. When people Come and
That's a
try bar
really
for the
good
first
idea.
time. From afar, it looks intimidating. She's that man doing spinning around and thing. This is the last reel we put up with you do on the low traverse, for example.
Yeah.
But once you come and you try it once or twice, you're like, well, it's not as hard as I thought it was. You know, you
Yeah.
just gotta suck it and see, as they say. And we encourage you to come out. You can reach out to us through the page if you'd like to get signed up on the training.
Yeah.
By the time this podcast comes out, registration information will be up on BarbadosAdventureRace.org as well. Register early and save some money.
How long has bar been going on?
So we started in 2018.
2008. So this is 5 years. So why we're saying this because, well, a lot of people, will see, as you say, we see like the Daniels, Damians, people that have been around from 2018 doing these skills. But we were all in a beginner's class in fight and fit at a point in time. Right. So like everybody had to learn to do the monkey bars. Everybody had to learn to climb the rope from scratch.
Right.
So it's good to see that you realize that even though there are people that have become pretty accomplished at these things, that there are going to be people that want to join bar now that have to go through the same process that all of the people that are bar OGs now would have gone through before. So I love that idea, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that that's what the open wave is for as well, right? Because, you know, you'll get person say, well, how I can ever compete with Saul? So I've been doing this thing for 5 years. I can't really compete with him. But you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you come and you do some of the training, you have some fun with the training, and you jump into the open wave event and you just have some fun and express your fitness. And maybe you see that you have an aptitude for it. Maybe you say, well, actually, if I put in a year of training, I could be up there with those guys as well.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not beating them, I can be competitive. So that's what the open wave event is for. So make sure, you know, you choose something over the weekend that speaks to your level of fitness.
It may seem hard, it may seem intimidating at first and everything, but what I love about bar is that everybody comes out the other side with the same exact impression that I just did that.
Yes.
And they feel accomplished. And no matter what your progress is at the beginning of the season, trust me, you're going to get better, especially if you're going to do the beginner block. And you're going to feel really good coming November the 26th.
Yes. And I think that's one of the issues with course design. You want to design a course that is challenging enough to make you feel like you accomplished something, but it's still just within your reach. You don't want people, they're breaking down and, man, that thing too hard. And you want it to be hard, you want it to be tough, but people can actually manage it. And having gone through it, they feel, yes, I feel a sense of accomplishment for having done that. That felt big, but I was able to do it. And I look forward to doing it again.
And they've actually have had examples though in the past of people who have failed on obstacles and worked over the year on that obstacle and come back just to conquer that obstacle. And I love that as well because that's just how life is. You're not going to get everything the first time. And people got to recognize that. Me, I got to recognize that. You got to recognize that. But you got other chances, other opportunities. I thank Phil for George and the bar community for continuing to provide the opportunities for us to conquer these obstacles.
So bar is a metaphor for life.
Yes.
And we do appreciate the support for everybody who's been there. And we are welcoming all the first-timers. Don't be intimidated. You can always come up and speak to me. My face will be bent, but I got one of them, RBF faces.
Yeah.
But I promise you, I won't bite.
He's a bit of an asshole, but he won't bite.
Only some of the time.
Anything else you need to get out in the podcast today, though, George?
No, I think that's it. That's quite a lot of information, so we can let you guys digest it before the next one. Remember, it's bar_race on Instagram, BarbadosAdventureRace.org, and we do have our YouTube channel as well. So reach out. Come and join the tribe. We look forward to seeing you. And as Saul says...
Well, no, I can tell you, so I want to summarize everything we said.
Okay, let me summarize that.
So the first thing, November 25th and 26th.
Good.
November 25th and 26th are the dates for bar. That's bar weekend. The next thing that you mentioned would be the family fun run.
Correct.
Saturday morning.
Event, PEDIALYTE sponsored, 5K, no obstacles, obstacle-free fun run.
The evening time, now we're going to have the elites running in the singles in the world obstacle course, Caribbean Championship. And let's call it words I begin with,
Yeah, call it whatever you want. The singles event sponsored by AMARONE Charitable Trust.
And then we come back on Sunday morning, the 26th of November. We start off with the
fun wave, the open wave, singles and teams, and then the corporate challenge.
Untitled Chapter. And then in the evening time, the big one. New changes for that as well. Teams of 3.
Teams of 3 with at least one female. We go over a shorter distance, 5K.
Yeah. And don't forget, guys, the corporate wave is now sponsored by the Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union Limited. All right, guys. All right, that's been it for this edition of the Barcast podcast. I'm Salt.
And I'm George.
You are great. You are a bar athlete. I saw you show what about Barbados, what about the Caribbean, what about the world. I never, ever, ever stop talking about bar.